Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network Live. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, I invite you to follow me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, and we have a really exciting show planned for you all. First things first, man, big, huge shout out to everyone checking us out live on YouTube and Facebook. Like, subscribe, share the channel and this episode with all your friends and family, because we are truly where millionaires in the making create wealth for generations. I want to give a huge shout out to the entire team over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, man. They've done a great job behind the scenes working to help myself and the Texas Real Estate King bring this show to you all on a weekly basis. I want to take a little time now to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he is a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us this week, and I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network Live audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you?
Yo, what up, Rick, man? Thank you so much for that warm introduction, man. It feels good on a cool day in Houston, Texas.
Hey, look, man, see, this is one of those special occasions. It's twofold. For one, the Texas Real Estate King is streaming live from the Brooks & Davis Education and Training Center at 2600 South Loop West, Suite 310 in H-Town City. So, look, if you need anything, man, if you want to meet, greet, interact with the Texas Real Estate King in the next 45 minutes, man, make your way to the office, man. We accepted all buyers, sellers, and investors. Second, this is one of those special occasions, man. Look, if we was in Nacogdoches, Texas, the purple towers would be illuminated over Steen Hall, man, and New Regain, everywhere, man. So, look, first thing, Mr. Texas Real Estate King, brother, you know, we getting ready to go into the holiday season. Yeah. We right in the thick of high school football season. Yeah. What's been going on this week in the world of the Texas Real Estate King, man?
Listen, man, these last 7 days have been busy, man. Let me start with that. Now, with that being said, we started last Thursday evening with an upset victory. Well, not with an upset victory to the public, but as far as a victory for us at Manville that we know coming. We peaking at the right time, man. My son and them had a away game against Hightower High School. They were 9-1. You know, we've had a few ups and downs as we got formulated with our season, but we walked into their house, man, and walked out of there with a victory. Our first won our first playoff game, man. So we excited. Tomorrow night we get to go against some friends of mine, man, some cats I played cornerback with at Stephen F. Austin. Shout out to Jay Spikes over there with Summerwood. Is it? Am I saying it right? Summer.
Hey, man, the Summer Creek Bulldogs, man. Look here, man. You gonna put some respect on these boys' name out here, man. Stop playing with me.
And my little brother Shiny over there with him, man. Come on. So
Look, man.
I'm excited, man, just to be playing them, man. My last name get to be on the field, man, to toss some of their kids around. So I'm excited about that. But not only that, man, so we was able to get that victory. And then had an opportunity to go down to SFA, man. Shout out to all the award winners, everyone that, you know, you've since your days of leaving SFA, you've done some amazing things in your career. But not only that, you pride yourself in being a giver and giving back to the communities. And so, you know, I was able to be a part of the award ceremony and just be down there and just hang out and meet some of these amazing alumni that we have from Stephen F. Austin. That were receiving awards. So that was really, really warm, really, really fun. I posted a lot of that on my social media, just the engagement and just the excitement that we had behind that. So shout out to them. And tapping off just before the end of the week on Monday, got a chance to catch Monday Night Football down in Dallas, Texas, man. You know, my Texans walked into their house and just stole their soul, man. Shout out to that man. I think it's Mix. The running back Mix, man, he different, man.
That boy Mixon got love.
Mix different, man. Because listen, you don't bump into cats. It's rare that you bump. I'm gonna say this. He's got that dog in it because he wants to get to the end zone every time he touched the field, and that's surprising because over the last few years we just haven't bumped into people that want to get to the end zone. But you got the D linemen when they touch the ball, they want to get to the end zone. Like they got that dog in them that you can't teach, man. And that's the ability to not want to slide down or just lay down. Like they want to get to the end zone because they know how important it is to score immediately versus, you know, trying to wait for somebody else to do it for you. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to the Houston Texans, man. We walked into Dallas House, man. Had an amazing time. We owned the stadium, man. You heard our boos. You heard our cheers. We own the Cowboy Stadium. So that's it, man, right there.
Hey, look, I will say this, man. The NFL, it'd be in their best interest to figure out a way that Houston and Dallas can play more often because I think it really translates on television. How even though it may not be an advertised rivalry in the football sense, but the energy in the building is something that you could tell from watching it on television. I think the NFL need to take advantage of those type of opportunities.
True.
To build both fan bases and keep it electric, man, because those Texas rivalries is real.
Yeah.
Basketball, football, especially, man. So that's up, man. Big, huge shout out. Now, I want to give you some time because you mentioned the SFA Alumni Awards that you went to. Reason why I wanted to bring that up is because a lot of time as SFA alumnus, these are the type of things that you like to get the word out about because it helps to bring pride to the university and for all the alumni and people who graduated from there. And today's guest is one of those talented ladies that is a proud alum of Stephen F. Austin State University. So, Larry, could you share with our audience a little bit about our background with this week's guest and how we were able to gain her commitment and have her sit in on the show this week?
Well, we've been knowing this week's guest over 25 years. Now, you know, of course, I was a child when I went to college, so I'm not sure, you know, the age of the rest of you all, but at least over 25 years, man. And funny enough, about 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, her and I had an opportunity of sitting on a panel together talking about health, not only man's health, but entrepreneurs' health and, you know, how to take care of ourselves better and how to have, you know, insurances in place in order to make sure that we're able to physically get ourselves taken care of. And so her and I had an opportunity of sitting on the panel together, really sharing. I was like, oh, you're doing podcasts now. And so with that introduction, I was able to reach out to her and she said yes to being on it with us today, man. So I'm excited about her being able to share her journey and share, you know, what she has going on in her business and, you know, congratulate her on some things that I know on the back of the scenes that she's working on. So, man, just I'm here. I'm ready today.
Oh, no, man. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This talented lady is not only the owner and founder of Gifted and Talented Kids Academy. She's a child care expert, proud alumni of Purple City, Texas, at Stephen F. Austin State University. I want to thank her so much for sitting in with us this week on the show. And I'd like to introduce to the audience, Ms. Ronesha Dotson. How are you?
Hi, I'm just trying to make sure I cannot hear. I'm wanting to let someone know I can't hear.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you as well. You're coming through crystal clear. How are you today, Ronesha?
I don't know if she can hear you, Rick.
Oh, wow.
Oh, can you not hear Rick?
I cannot hear Rick. I've been trying to hear Rick.
That's what's up. So So how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you today?
I'm good. So as we get Rick's voice back on track with you, he's gonna go out, come back in. So for our audience, the ones that have not had the opportunity to meet you just yet, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
All right. Hello. Thank y'all for having me today. I'm so glad to see y'all again. Just to give you a little background about myself, my name is Ronesha Dotson, and I've been in childcare for over 15 years now. I taught third grade for about 8 years prior to opening my center. Just have a huge passion for working with kids. I love children. So, of course, the next thing to do was to go ahead and start and venture out on my own. And open up a childcare business. So here I am 15 years later, working, owning, and operating my own center, looking to grow and expand in childcare. I do have two children, so I'm a mother of two, an 18-year-old and an 11-year-old.
18 and 11.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So since you've been in, so what first? I'm not, and I guess I'm kind of curious because what first introduced you to childcare? Were you kind of working in that system, or were you an educator, or what introduced you to it?
It's crazy because I've always loved children. So I grew up taking care of children in the neighborhood, cousins.
Really? Okay.
Yes, it's crazy, but I've loved children. Children always loved me, so
Yeah.
we've always had a good connection. And when I was in high school, I was saying, "Oh, I want to own my own child care center one day," and I really was just saying this over and over. And I chose to go to Stephen F. Austin because I heard that it was a school of education, a lot of it was a school where a lot of educators went and got
That's
their
right. It
degrees.
was. Yep.
They catered to that. So I chose SFA to go to school and get my degree in education. Went from there, I started teaching third grade elementary. I did
Okay.
third grade and second grade. And just a passion working with kids. I didn't have any family members at that time who worked in education. It was just something I've always wanted to do. I've
Yeah.
never thought of doing anything else. Just working with kids.
Yeah.
Just
That's amazing. And the thing is that even at a young age, you kind of saw the vision of it, and that's the path
mhm.
that you decided to walk in, and you stayed so focused on it. So I commend you for that. And just, the thing is, the thing about business and being an entrepreneur and being in an entrepreneur space. How's it been treating you? How's this year been?
Well, this year, it's been a great year so far. This year, working, the business has been great. I, about a year ago, experienced a huge loss in my family and business as well from losing my mother, who was the director of my child care center for about 8 years. And I went down. I went through a spiral of just not a burnout, not really caring, didn't want to work in business anymore, almost losing my center because I didn't come to my center. And this year, I've actually stepped my game up. The fire came back. It's crazy because when you really have a passion for something, it won't go away. And this is where my heart is. So this year, I pulled my big girl panties up and I got back in the game. I'm back in the center working full time, and it's been good. I love it. And the business, because of what I've been doing here, changing the culture, rebranding, has really, really helped the success of my business this year.
I apologize for the technical
Can you hear Rick now?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear
you
you
can.
now.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dotson, for sitting in with us, man. I was so excited for this interview.
Yes.
I've been able to watch your business and your entrepreneurial career as it's developed the entire time. And one of the things I've been most impressed with you about is that normally when you see child care facilities that are on par with something that you would own, it's usually a large undertaking with a board of directors, several partners, that type of thing. And I've just been amazed at how well organized and well run your facility has been, considering that you're at the top of the pyramid from that standpoint. You
Of
make
course.
all those decisions and you motivate and inspire your employees on a regular basis. So from a mentorship standpoint, was there someone were you able to learn from a franchisor or a franchisee? Could you just give our audience a little bit about how a woman like yourself can be the queen of her own kingdom and build it out in this way?
Of course. I feel like having a mentor it's super important. Having someone, a network, a community of people that are in your industry is important. Um, but to be truthful, starting out 15 years ago, we didn't have that. It wasn't a lot of people. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. So it was a lot of trial and error in the beginning. Just going through the motion, figuring it out. Like we all say, we're winging it until we get through it. And it started like that. But as I continued to grow in my business, the trial and the error, I knew the importance of having a network of people around me in the industry. I did reach out. I got a mentor in 2020. As soon as the pandemic came, it was a lot going on. I was like, hey, we got to figure out how we're going to get through this. A lot of things are changing. Businesses were shutting down. And my goal was to make sure I survived that. I wanted to stay afloat, remain open. This is my income. This is my only source of income at this point. And I knew I needed to sustain this pandemic. And I reached out to a friend of mine who actually introduced me to an academy, and I became a part of this Child Care Success Academy in 2020. In that academy, it taught me a lot. I got a lot of resources. I got a lot of mentors and coaches to help me through the navigating and pivoting to expand and expand and grow my business from there. And that's why I got a lot of the professional point, not just having a little mom and pop center, but running your business like a business, actually giving your business what it needs, the professional part, the systems, the ways to make sure that your business is sustained. And that just having that mentor, coaching calls, a lot of women and people who are in that industry helping and reaching out. We got on Facebook. We got a Facebook group going. So yes, I feel like mentors are really important. It helped me a lot. And then also, you'll get around people who are experiencing what you're experiencing. You don't feel alone. Sometimes you feel like I'm going through this. Nobody else is going through this. You're looking at everybody else as they're so successful. But when you get around people who are experiencing what you're experiencing, they can help you through those times as well. So it's important.
One of the things that Larry likes to talk about on the show is the value of professional networking. Mm-hmm. Part of organizations and giving back from that standpoint. You mentioned that you were referred to this group around 2020, which was about 4 years ago, but you have been in the business so much time before that. So could you speak to those members of our audience who may not be a part of a professional organization, who may not be part of a professional network? Could you just talk about the value they add to your business and why you feel like it might have served you if you had started and become a part of this organization sooner?
Oh, wow. Yes, definitely. Like I say, I didn't have that opportunity to start with an organization or mentors and coaches. So I went through the trial and error. And by the grace of God, I was able to sustain. It took a lot of late night hours, staying up all night, coming up with plans, working myself from the front end of the business to the back of the business. I'm the cook, the janitor, the bus driver, I'm answering calls, I'm doing tours, I'm doing cleaning. Yeah. So all of those things just helped me as an owner, learn every part of my business. And I was able to get in. And that's what really saved my business, because if anything happens, I knew how to get in and work my business. So the knowledge that I had from working in my business, believing in myself, pouring into myself kind of helped me during those times before I was able to get a coach and mentor. But of course, getting those mentors and coaches kept me going. It kept me on fire. Like I say, every business, you're going to have a burnout. You're going to go through times where you want to give up. And just having people around you, that helped me a lot in learning different systems. So now I'm able to scale my business. I learned the matrix of my business, where I'm spending money. So now the business part is knowing your numbers. And that's really important in any business. You want to know your numbers. You want to know where you're going to be in the next 2 years and how you're going to get there. So, when you're starting out, you're not really knowing where my business is, how my business looking, and just having that snapshot of exactly what's going on financially will save your business. So getting those mentors and coaches because, hey, I'm going to admit, math is not my, I didn't come out of school in financials or business. I was a teacher. I wanted to go help kids. I wanted to get in the classroom, and just being in business alone, that's not it. You got to know the back end. You need to know what your business is doing on every end. So getting those coaches, getting the mentors, getting those people who are around me doing this for a period of time, those people helped me scale my business and grow my business where I'm at now.
And I commend you for that, because a lot of times when we've been in the business longer than 10 years, we feel like we at the top of the totem pole and we can't learn from other people that may have been in there a little longer or maybe even a little less, right? But I think I commend you for just being able to gather that. And like you said, it allows you to scale because things change, you know, and that's one of the things, even when as I talk to realtors and stuff like that, even as professional realtors, we need coaches in order to see what we didn't see. I remember one of the most shifting changes that we ever had here at Brooks and Davis is we took a course at Keller Williams. It's called the Bold course. We had no idea of the things that people, because we started as an independent brokerage firm by ourselves. So we didn't have the networks and the partnerships and the big box companies to give us the support. And when we sat in that Bold, we was like, oh, wow. So that's what y'all teaching. That's what y'all learning. This is how y'all able to scale. This is why this looks like that. And so it's just like you said, we just started learning certain things and putting some systems in place that just allow us to grow at a way. And then we became more like, oh, okay, this is how it's done. Now what's next? So I commend you for that.
It's game changing getting in a room with those who are where you want to be. It gets, you know, getting those jewels and those insights of exactly what to do. It's the same thing with me. I'm getting with people who have multiple childcare centers and franchises, and I'm like, okay, you know, they're actually talking about it's not just about running and having a center, getting out of the business. How are you going to exit out of here? What's your game plan? You know, and we looking at it like we want to hold on to these business and things like that. They're buying and selling childcare centers as a business. You know, they're buying centers, selling those centers. They're knowing where to buy the business, how to
evaluate
how long the value and when to sell those businesses. It's becoming more like an investment for them, not just getting in the business, owning it and running it. No, they have, this is the game. They want to build them to sell. And so you want to learn.
You know, the thing is because a lot of times I think people think that as they build the business that they're going to be leaving it for the kids. And sometimes you got kids that's just not their passion. You know, that's not something that they desire to do. They might want to go in a totally different direction. So you got to have that thing structured at such a scale capacity to where if you do want to liquidate it or if you do want to pass it or sell it, then you can. And I commend you for putting those things in place. What'd you say, Rick?
Oh, no, this is everything. This is a great conversation because I think right now we're talking to a businesswoman that's not only in the planning, also into the execution, but also understands what her exit strategy is. And I think sometimes, especially when we have these type of entrepreneurial conversations, we don't necessarily spotlight having an organized exit strategy or having options to what you speak of, Larry, where, like you mentioned, we all have these grandiose dreams and aspirations of leaving this huge nest egg to our children and them running with the family business. But like you said, Larry, that's not always feasible. But I want to ask you this, Ronesha, when you think back to your upbringing, because this is something that Larry and I are always curious about as we interview the talented business owners that we have the luxury to interview every week. Were there members of your family that were business owners and entrepreneurs that when you think about as a young lady that may have served as a catalyst or an inspiration for you?
Yes. You know, when I think about that question that you ask, I always reflect back to my grandfather, you know, and growing up, I didn't think that it was any, you know, I didn't think about his entrepreneur life like that. And now, you know, as I'm older, I'm like, wow, my grandfather really was an entrepreneur. He really had that in him. You know, he owned a club.
Okay.
And he owned I think it's called a halfway house or a home for, you know, older people and people who were coming out of prison who needed somewhere to stay. And we used to run around, you know, he had the cafe and the halfway house kind of put together. And we, as little kids, you know, all I knew, I was going up to my grandfather and he was just giving me money. And, you know, I would put my hand out and he would give me all these quarters, you know. I would go to his Coke machines and he would have all these vending machines and I would just get the money out. I'm just getting all this money. And all I knew was, you know, wow, you know, I have money. And as I began to grow and I saw like how much he's inspired me just being an entrepreneur at, you know, in his time, you know, he owned many houses in the city gas area. And once my mom divorced my dad, we were able to go back to our home, one of the homes that he had in that area for us to stay in, and not realizing how impactful that was for him to be able to support his family. You know, though my mom as well was able to go back and have a home that without having to go out somewhere, she was able to go back to his house that he had. You know, he wasn't living there. It was one of his rent houses and we were able to stay there. So those type, he really, really influenced me. I admired him. He had property in Louisiana, like everything he's owned. We still have land that, we get to get one day, and it's all because of him.
No, it's so powerful that you mentioned it, and I thank you so much for your transparency. You mentioned that not only are you a leader, a businesswoman, entrepreneur, but you're also a mom. So it's really powerful how you mentioned how those examples resonate with you as you think about your upbringing and your past. Larry and I talk about this a lot, how unbeknownst to us, we serve as motivation for so many of the young people around us. And I'm sure all those times you brought your kids up to the facility and have them interact. And I'm sure these are things that when they look back, they're going to think about how giving of her time and energy their mom was to the community.
Hopefully. That's the goal. But, it's over their head right now. They're just like, I don't want to go there. And like, hey,
kids, no
people,
doubt.
and I'm trying to show them, but
kids being kids, that's what that is.
Yes, that's what I say. I'm like, hopefully one day they'll see. But I think so. I was young and I eventually saw how the importance and impactful my grandfather was. So yeah, it eventually comes full circle.
No, I mean, you have such a powerful story that resonates with so many people in our audience, I'm sure. For those in our audience that would love to meet, greet, interact with you on a personal basis, learn more about Gifted and Talented Kids Academy, learn more from you as a businesswoman, when will that opportunity present itself, and when can they come out and meet Ms. Ronesha Dotson?
Well, of course, since we're talking about when you can meet, you definitely can come out to our fall festival. We have an annual fall festival that's open up to the community this Saturday. Yes. And it is at our child care center, and it's open for you to be able to come in and come into our center and meet the teachers. Come in. We have games. We have face painting. We'll have a petting zoo, the bounce house, the DJ. We have just a big fun day for those who want to come out. We're located at 14551 Cullen Boulevard. And you also can follow me on Instagram, Ronesha Dotson. And our Facebook page is Gifted and Talented Kids Academy, where you can also find get updates of information and things that we're having here at the center.
Good. Oh, shout out to Trishina. Trishina is one of our alumni of the Prime Real Estate Network. I saw that she's going to be there as well.
Yes, she is.
Look, I be all on y'all Instagram page watching y'all have y'all shoe contests and y'all the dance offs y'all be doing, but y'all stay active over there.
We gotta have fun. You gotta
y'all be life is beginning. Y'all definitely show the fun side of entrepreneurship as well. Yes. So those of you that don't follow her, y'all definitely need to follow her and tap in and visit, man. She has not only a lot of business acronyms that take place on her page, but definitely fun as well. Just to kind of show you how, I do believe that it's very difficult to be an entrepreneur and kind of separate business from pleasure. But at the end of the day, you do a great job at showing how you can live a little bit as well as still accomplish your goals and stuff too.
Yes. And also Saturday is a kid-friendly event, but if you're looking to come out just to hear some more business information and get meet us, me and Tracy, and we actually have a business giving going on tomorrow between 4 and 8 at Houston, Texas. And there you'll get an insight on just different business tips we are going to give out. And just, it's a big business giving for those who are interested in getting more business tips.
That's what's up. Wow.
Now, outstanding, man. I want to thank you so much for sitting in with us, Ronesha. This was a long time coming. I know how
I'm so excited.
Thursdays can be. No, I know how Thursdays can be. Me and Larry talk about this every week. So thank you so much, Queen, for carving some time out of your schedule. Awesome. Larry and I always have a seat here for you if you ever want to sit in with us again. So please, anything that's going on over at the Gifted and Talented Kids Academy, please keep us top of mind, because we would love to share that information and have you sit in with us at another time on the show.
Of course. And thank you so much. You guys are doing an awesome job.
And before I let you go, I want to say, I know that we talked about a real estate thing that you was working on with the Academy. Yes. I commend you on that. That's an amazing job. When you get that worked out, I definitely we're going to come and film from there. We're going to come sit in a room and do a podcast over at the new studio
I cannot wait. You have to.
You know what I mean? So as soon as it's done, let us know. We're going to start working around it.
We're going for the 1st of December, so you'll be hearing from me real soon.
Good. And so is there anything else you would like to leave the audience with before we go? One thing or anything that you'd like to leave them with?
Definitely, as an entrepreneur, I would just say keep believing in yourself, keep striving. Of course, put God first in anything that you do. And, the sky's the limit. Keep going. We've all been there. We had the times where we didn't know what else we were going to do, but just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Eventually, you'll be where you want to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great one, Ro.
Thank you.
much.
You too. All right.
Man, great episode, Mr. Brooks, man. Her energy was infectious, man. Once again, I want to thank Miss Ronesha Dotson for sitting in with us this week. It's always amazing the type of talented people that are produced at Stephen F. Austin State University. And big, huge shout out to everybody at NAC. Big, huge shout out to all the alumni out there. Big, huge shout out to all the alumni award winners. Hey, look, bro, is there anything you'd like to leave the audience with this week before we sign off from this episode of the Prime Real Estate Network Live?
Say, listen, y'all put y'all hands together, man. Say a little small prayer for Friday night, high school football. Manville want to go ahead. We want to go to the third round. And I want y'all to be a part of that. So y'all send up some little prayers for us so we can get to this third round. Let's keep rocking it. We're doing it for my last name, baby.
Big, huge shout out once again, man. I want to wish health, good luck to all of the kids participating in high school football this weekend, man. This is the chance of a lifetime. These are memories you won't soon forget. Right. So take advantage of the opportunity. Give it your all, man. And put team first. Pray to God and stay healthy. On behalf of myself, Mr. Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we wish everyone in the audience, please be safe until we see you next week here on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. And remember, we're only a phone call, text, email, or direct message away, man. So everyone out there on the highways and byways, please be safe and be blessed.
Blessed.